One of the most stunning developments of the decline of the United States in the presidency of Obama and the presidency of Trump is the reemergence of Turkey as not just a regional power, but perhaps even a world power. From the collapse of the Ottoman Empire and the Turkish War of Independence under the Great Turk Ataturk, there's been no further Turkish expansion except for the invasion of northern Cyprus and the setting up of the puppet state in northern Cyprus in 1974. Since the establishment of the Republic of Turkey, the military has acted as a safeguard against the rising forces of Islamism and Kemalist understanding brought forth by Ataturk of modern Turkey as this Europhilic state which looks westward instead of eastward or backward into Turkish history for its self-understanding. Now with the rise of Erdogan, the failed military coup or his engineered military coup, which essentially neutered the military as an independent political force, and his establishment of a new presidency, a highly executive, powerful presidency in the 2017 referendum, means that Turkey can return to its natural status as the lords of the Islamic world and the intellectual and military leaders of it. This comes at the same time as the destabilization of the Arab world following the Arab Spring and winter, where Syria, Libya, Yemen have all become failed states, as well as Iraq being held up by both, oddly, Iran and the United States in preventing it from becoming a complete failed state. Although, clearly, Iraq is a failed state. This rapid creation of a power vacuum, along with the United States' decline and facing inward to the repercussions of its immigration policies and racial policies since the 1960s, has provided an impetus for this rise of Neo-Ottomanism, this new Erdoganian paradigm, which is rendered popular both on a practical level and an ideological level. Practically in the sense because the Syrian civil war drew so many Syrian Arab refugees and Kurdish refugees as well, and the Kurds, of course, very contentious issue in Turkey with their communist insurrection. But anyway, as these refugees were driven into Turkey and destabilized the region, Turkey has every right, every justification to invade Syria, to establish a border zone to prevent further refugees into this failed state. And this Turkish incursion, which has continued and prevents the Ba'athist Assad regime from unifying the whole of Syria, was simply this first movement of Turkey onto the world stage. Turkey also actively intervenes against Kurds allied with the PKK, the communist Kurd insurgency against Turkey's central government in northern Iraq. Turkey, of course, operates with NATO in Qatar and Afghanistan. And in 2020, we've seen the rapid rise of Turkey is filling in this vacuum the United States did. Turkey is coming in and intervening directly into the Libyan civil war against Russia. So Russia operates this Wagner group, this mercenary group, on one side of the Libyan civil war, and then Turkey uses these moderate Islamists, I don't know what you want to call them, the moderate rebels of Syria, if you will, which are allied with Turkey, and which Turkey prevents from being ultimately defeated by Assad. Turkey now uses them as their mercenaries in Libya, as well as their naval and air forces are actively fighting the other side in the Libyan civil war, the side allied with Russia's Wagner group and allied with Egypt. So Turkey, went into Cyprus, its first post-reunification, post-Turkey emerging as a Turkish national state as opposed to the Ottoman Turkish supremacist state. um, intervening on the behalf of the ethnic Turks in northern Cyprus, and then protecting its own borders in Syria, and then outwardly intervening in Libya. And now, with this Azerbaijan Armenian second war since the 1990s, since 94, the second war in the Caucasus between the Christian Armenians and the Muslim Azerbaijanis, Turkey is directly intervening by sending its proxy soldiers, its mercenaries from Syria, to fight against the Armenians. And in traditional rivalries are coming to front here. Russia and Turkey are fighting each other in the absence of the United States. Turkey abandons the United States, essentially, and takes its own power, returns to its Ottoman power and its natural status as the leader of the Middle East due to being the most educated and intelligent of the people in that region, and is kind of retaking their power and fighting Russia, which is allied with Persia. And the United States, as it declines, it has no real dog in this fight. Of course, it's still trying to prevent Russia from reabsorbing the Eastern Slavic states of Belarus and Ukraine. But the United States isn't really doing anything in this Turkish-Russia battle. And, you know, Turkey's kind of milking the United States for what they got right now. Erdogan is really a master diplomat in this sense because he hasn't broken free completely of the United States. There's still the American military base there, and where Turkey is a shared nuclear power with the United States. So at the same time, Erdogan is slowly developing, and surely, almost silently compared to Iran, a nuclear capability. It's developing ICBMs and nuclear reactors right now, and saying it's not developing nuclear weapons. Why would you develop reactors and ICBMs simultaneously if you're not going towards nuclear weapons? So Erdogan is this really master politician, master diplomat. Now, if Erdogan will be successful in Libya, doubtful. If the Armenian Azerbaijani war will resolve in a clear Azerbaijani victory, doubtful. It probably looks like Armenia's going to win. But he's really arisen Turkey on the global stage in the absence of the United States as not just a regional power, but perhaps a global power very rapidly. And Turkey arises again. Good for you, Turkey.